Hello, everyone. Thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. Time now for a few extra minutes with Marvin Mims Jr. And Marv, you just got your first playoff win. How'd that feel?
Felt great.
Yeah.
It was a crazy game, and it's a crazy game in the first place, but when you add on like playoff win, that's another huge thing to it. But just thinking about the emotions after that game, it's just a crazy feeling.
And the emotions you think about on the other side, we saw like Josh Allen crying, at the podium, his teammates crying. That finality of it, how much does that, besides the fact that obviously you want to win a Super Bowl, but the finality of it, if it's over, it's over, how much does that kind of add a layer?
Yeah, I think you see like those veteran guys, like, how they feel about it, how hurt they are about it, and it kind of makes you appreciate it that much more. It makes you realize like how big this game really is. I mean, like people's kind of like legacies are built off the playoffs and stuff like that. So just knowing that we were able to, get that win, along with the first round bye and now being an AFC championship, it's a great feeling. It's a huge thing.
You're going against the New England Patriots. What do you make kind of the Pats?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good all-around team. Drake May is having an incredible year, and their defense is really stout, really good, hard-hitting, throw to the ball. And they have always had one of the best special teams in the league for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be an easy challenge at all, but, I mean, if anyone else, matches up with them, it would be us, and just our belief in each other and what we can do. But we know that we're going to have our hands full this week with the Patriots.
I think it's kind of going to be a really fun matchup because you kind of think all year long, people have doubted the Broncos. People have said the Pats had an easy schedule.
Yeah.
Drake May, Bo Nix. Like, everybody's just kind of doubted both of you guys, and now you come head-to-head, the 1 and 2, the last two standing. I don't know how validating it is and how much fun that is going to be against another team that's kind of gone through that same stuff.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. You look at teams that have kind of rebuilt and, and got their franchise quarterbacks, and now, like, in the second year, both of them are going to be in the AFC Championship and got their team to the AFC Championship. So it's really cool just to – you kind of have a feeling for both, especially for me only being 3 years, versus, like, Cortland or GB, who've been here the entirety of the whole thing. But just knowing, like, that first year wasn't great, and then now your second year, you make the playoffs, and now the third year, like, we're in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
So it's like a huge thing, and just knowing that both sides kind of come from the same thing, it's going to be a huge game for everyone, especially from being young on both sides and being older on both sides in different spots. It's just a weird feeling.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. One thing about this team is you guys are so close, and I know everybody thinks, teams are all going to be close, but that's not necessarily the case. What makes this locker room just so close? You guys seem to always play for each other no matter what.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is our training camp. We're up there for about 12 hours a day, and we're just learning from each other, getting to know each other. And you bring a guy in like Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw, and it's like, I've never met these guys in my life, but they really put in the effort to like get to know their teammates and get to know the ins and outs of everyone. And I think that brings a huge confidence to this team, just in each other, and just knowing this dude's doing this in training camp and they're going to be the #1 defense in the league. It's like, why couldn't we go do it, in an actual game? And then you go from there, and we lose the game in Indy, we lose the game in LA, and like backs are against the wall. It's like, hey, who are we going to be? And then we go on this, 12 game win streak?
Yeah.
And we're winning games like the Giants game, like the Jets game in London. And it's different stuff that's just proved to us like why we should trust each other more and more.
You mentioned Garrett and Court earlier, and it's like, man, they've been through the stink times. What's it like for you to see them get these playoff wins, their first playoff wins, and Garrett's been in the league, same with Court, for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's really deserving for both of them, and not just because of the players they are, but because of the people they are too. And how much they truly love, the city of Denver. And, I mean, GB and Court, if you need anything, they'll take care of you, no matter what it is, or they'll find someone who can. But just from their leadership, especially being in a room with Cortland and just knowing the type of guy he is, always having us over to his house, his place, inviting us to his space, and just how selfless he is, on the field. I mean, he didn't have a catch till the fourth quarter, and I had no idea. It's just me, him, and LJ, and he didn't have a catch till the fourth quarter, but you didn't hear a word from him. He just wants to win, and in sides like that, you don't take for granted in this league. You have a lot of guys who kind of want their numbers and all types of things, but just them being who they are, it helps a lot with the guys that are new, and especially the younger guys like me. So it's been huge, and I'm excited for them, especially.
One of the stats that came out after the game, like team stats, was one of the kind of the most productive games amongst wide receivers, and it was basically like DT, 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 Marvin Mims, DT. What does it mean to be in that same category and making that impact on with DT?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, if we were sitting here weeks ago and you asked me if I thought I was going to have a game like that in the divisional round, I said probably not. But, you know, watching Pat go down really early and then Troy go down a couple plays after that, it's like, we got 3 guys. You know, we got to stay out here. And just being able to help the team out when they needed me the most, you know, not being afraid of the moment and going out there and stepping up whenever, you know, Bo trusts me, Coach Payton trusts me, and everyone else out there trusts me. And it's just a good feeling, you know, just to kind of know that you can be there for your team whenever they need you.
We love seeing Marv have a big day. We hope we're going to have another big one on Sunday. What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, just the energy.
Yeah.
The energy. I mean, kind of like you said, kind of like I said earlier, like that could have been our last game.
Yeah.
So just, you know, taking care of the Patriots, number one, but just also just being where your feet are and just enjoying the moment and being in the AFC Championship. Because can't take it for granted. You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of players in the league that don't get this opportunity.
Yeah, that's going to be special. Marv, you're the absolute best. Thanks for joining us. We can't wait for another big game for you this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.